What's up, man? I'm doing all right. Other than 2 kidney stones in my left kidney, I'm pretty good.
Thank you for getting the other camera fixed, Scott. I noticed that right. Yeah. Yes, yeah. One day at a time, right?
Which was this Mark Sheriff. Then we'll have a practice.
Oh, I normally can't pass.
Get 4 pages.
Yeah.
Yeah, May 31st.
Because she didn't. She didn't send me the one.
All right. All right, today is Thursday, June the 20th. Yeah, this meeting is coming to order. It's at 9:04. This is a workshop, and we will start off with the sheriff office and the jail, which is a follow-up from our earlier one. Okay. So, are we ready? You ready?
Yes, sir.
Sheriff? Okay,
Gotcha.
you got the floor.
All right. Just coming back again to talk about, you want to run back to, we're gonna start with jail first,
Yes, sir.
okay? Which run back to the items we talked about last time we gained. On this, I just discussed the technical assistance memo from Technical Jail Standards Executive Director Brandon Wood regarding healthcare for inmates, mental care, healthcare, very healthcare and dental care. We've got a couple of bids or 8 bids for dental care. And we've asked for that money in this kind of budget. That's something we're not currently providing. And what money is that money?
It was under contract services.
Under
I added
contract
it to
service.
Contract services.
Yes.
Yes. $15,000 a year for every other month. Plus the cost of autoplay.
For mobile dentistry, they'll come to us to do it. We have, the only thing we have to do is furnish autoplate sterilization of those dental tools. We'll have to keep their own premise, but they'll come to us. We currently go outside when we have dental issues. We have to carry them to the dentist's office. Scheduling sometimes pretty hard to get them in. Sometimes they'll cancel us at short notice. And we have to book ahead. We have to reach out a ways to get them. This will be a regular rotation of dental visits.
Okay. And that's under, where did that,
Contract services right there where your first read, just below there.
okay. So that's, 15K for the dental, correct?
Yes, sir.
The cost of the autoplay I put under equipment.
And mental health care.
The mental health care also come out of contract services.
Any questions on the dental?
No.
Okay. Next, we'll move on to the mental health care on the request. In that memo, it says we shall provide that, mental health care for these inmates. It's something we're seeing more and more and more of since before. I've all seen it. This county jails in Texas is the largest single mental health care provider in the state. This is becoming a daily occurrence, sometimes more than once a day. With some equipment we get in, this would be to provide a psych nurse on staff. What they come out to.
It's 15 hours bi-weekly and it's $22,815 annually.
I had our nurse Lisa, girl with Southern Health Partners, come to us last time. She doesn't understand the job. She's just not trained in a specialty. She knows something about it, but a training in specialty, having a psych nurse to come to help us. I think maybe if it takes long, get to take care of you. Some of those inmates can.
The psych care is provided through Southern Health Partners, who is the medical care that we're already contracted with. This would just increase the contract with them by $22,815 to add that psych on in 15 hours.
We've spoken with Henderson County, also use the same service through Southern Health Partners. They're satisfied, very satisfied with the service they're getting from them. Other jails also do some things to supplement their mental health care.
Okay. Satisfied with Southern
Yes,
Health
sir.
Partners or with the
They're
health,
satisfied
mental
with Southern
health?
health care and also with the psych nurse,
Okay,
the service they get from.
okay. That explains the contract services increase, correct, for both dental and mental health,
Yes, sir.
okay?
And we had one more time again, the liability on our county, on us, the sheriff's office. This is really not an option.
Mhm.
We provide the best care we can out there to keep that jail run as best we can. Again, I've asked our jail administrator, captain, and our lieutenant, everybody works in the jail, run things safely and professionally as best they can. We've seen what's happened in the past, so we'll make sure we don't go back down that road. And this would benefit us greatly to have this service.
Okay. All right, any other line items on there? I don't, is there any conversation, discussion about the dental or the mental health contract for the inmates and objections? All right, no objections, let's move on. What's the next item?
Requested a maintenance position for the jail. We've got, real quick, we got 2 10-hole leaks in the 4-inch water line. Oh, yes, sir.
Are you talking about personnel now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I want to do personnel all at one time,
Okay.
okay?
All right.
So I just want to do expenses right now, and
Yes,
then we'll go back to that. So,
The next thing we have is inmate food.
yeah, that's no biggie, just major ones that,
That custodial supplies. We've never spent 55,000 before in years past.
The increase in cost is one of the issues that we're running against, and then, I mean, right now, that line item is probably the one that's closest to being over budget. As opposed to anything else, that's where all of the cleaning supplies. The toilet paper, the paper supplies for the whole facility, not just the jail, but it for the sheriff, for the administration side of it as well. Floor wax. Floor wax is a big cost because in the past, it hadn't been something that's been utilized a whole lot back there, keeping the floors waxed up and.
I've asked the captain, he's doing an outstanding job of it. Sometime you come over here, take a look. When I got there, those floors were pretty rough. The whole building back there just wasn't looking too good. Those floors are polished now. They keep polished. The floor guy works every night in the trustees. Right now, all our cells need to be painted. There's quite a bit of graffiti. I went in there just price of paint here at the hardware store. And to get a medium grade paint, I think it was $160 or $70 for a 5-gallon bucket. I could get a cheaper paint for 120. We're looking around to see what else we can do. So it may take just in one cell, or one of those large cells, it may take probably pretty close to 5 gallons just to paint it.
Now, is that under custodial supplies?
No, sir, that's under repair and maintenance of buildings.
Is it
Okay.
okay?
And that's why you went up 30,000 on that for that. When was the last time you painted the cells?
Some of those are probably not telling when they've been painted, Judge. They've done their best to keep things up back there, but you want to get graffiti, you want to put another on the walls back there. And we need to keep that. If they put it up, we're gonna take it right back down if we can.
Cells have to be available too if you're gonna paint them and you've been full.
That and boils, we have to move them out for a while, move them somewhere else. We can put a few of them in the gym at a time. When we do those things. We may be doing like a wall at a time instead of a wholesale.
Mhm.
The building's 32 years old and I didn't start off with this. I'm gonna go back to it again. I know we're not here for that, but I'd highly look at getting some kind of long-term plan for jail facilities, whether it's a new jail, adding on the jail that's there, or getting a long-term contract. I saw a email came out from the Sheriff's Association of Texas last week. It was sent by the executive director, and I think it's Boston County's offered, I think, 30 beds for long-term lease to the other sheriffs of Texas. Is we used to take everybody to Henderson County and we can't take them down there anymore. We can take a few at a time. They can't take, chief, y'all were sending 30 to 40 people a year or at a time. House in Henderson County years past, or at least. Yeah, now they can take 5 or 6 or 7. We could go Monday. We came in Monday morning. We're housing people in Hopkins County, they're Sulphur Springs, and they called and said, hey, we did a sweep this weekend, rounded up some people. We need the bed space. We need to come get your 6 inmates. So we get we're doing Monday morning. We could go Monday morning and go pick up 6 inmates and shuffle them somewhere else. So our jail administrator and our jail lieutenant, that spend a good portion of their days playing who's on first, shuffling people around outside. There are other facilities besides our jail. So I just look at something, I get some kind of plan right now and don't anything that says.
But currently we don't have but 3 outsourced, correct?
Currently,
That was the report that came
you've seen
in.
those numbers fluctuate
Right.
and around. Christmas time, New Year's, you saw the numbers went down pretty low. Then the early spring came, we filled the jail back up. 2 months ago, we had our jail full and had inmates in 4 other counties. We still don't have the Texas Highway Patrol Union numbers working here regularly. And no knock against them, they're being pulled out of our county to go work other counties, be it on the border or to work some of the major metropolitan cities where they defund the police, which leaves us short on people here. We've been short on deputies.
Okay, you're going on a rabbit trail.
I understand.
Okay,
But
we're talking jail.
Yes.
Okay, let's
Yes.
just stick with the jail
Yes, sir.
and the jail expenses right here we'll get to the sheriff's office in just a
Okay.
moment. Okay. So, repair and maintenance, that's including paint for the, to repaint the cells. Any other items, commissioners, that you would like to discuss on the expense side for the jail? And the office equipment, that's supposed to be up 1, right, under regular equipment? I would assume since it was 70,000 this year. I can go back and look real quick. But what is that equipment for? Is that just,
No, the equipment, that's
yeah. it's
like
supposed-
if, I'm gonna use the water heaters as an example, they came out of the equipment line.
Okay.
item. But I increased it by 3,000 to include the autoclave for the dental.
Okay,
And we don't mean to be nitpicking, we're already 2 million over our revenue.
No, sir. I understand.
And we ain't even got through everybody yet.
No, sir. I
And
understand.
so that's why when I asked something and you said, man, that's only $5,000. We're glad, and we hadn't even got to the new employees yet. So we get the new employees, we do everything and we get the new employees, we're gonna be $3.5 million over revenue.
Yes, sir.
And
I understand this.
I don't have words.
I get it. That's
Don't
why we're
think I'm
here.
picking on you.
No, sir, it's, we don't take it that way. And I appreciate you saying that.
Okay. So any other items, expense items under the jail to discuss? If not, let's move on to the sheriff department. We're gonna do personnel all at one time. Okay. Next, we go to the sheriff's office. Expenses, line item expenses.
I don't know that I really increased anything on the line item expenses on the sheriff's office side. As a matter of fact, I think I decreased more than I increased.
How much does our revenue go up this year? 3.5%, 1.2 million, is that right?
I don't think it was quite 1.8. 1.7, 1.5 and 1.7 is the increase in revenue from new property and 3.5%.
I think y'all need to look at that number. We went up 1.7 million. And between the jail and the sheriff's office, y'all are asking for 1.5 million. And that's just y'all, that's not the, we gotta do the whole county, so I think we've gotta look somewhere. We gotta start cutting on there somewhere. Well, for what y'all requested, not what's approved, what requested. There's just no way that we could increase 1.5 million when we only brought in 1.7 million more.
And Commissioner, I understand, and Commissioner Pierce, what he said also, we understood it fully. This is my third time, this will be my last time to come around. I'm just letting you know what we need. Again, I've never asked you for any wants since I've been over there. All I asked you for the first year was salary. The second year, we did the same thing. This year, I'm asking for more salary, not a lot more salary, and also more positions to get that sheriff's office staff to where it be, because we're still short. All we're doing is answer calls. We're not doing any proactive policing. And we hadn't asked for anything above and beyond just staffing and trying to fill our ranks where we can get our calls answered. But I understand the position y'all are in also, and that's what we'll be.
That's a no-win situation.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But y'all also helped us out the last 2 years, I understand the position you're in, and I want to leave things whenever I walk out of here. When Bridger takes over as sheriff, he'll be in a much better position I was when I came over there. And I want this is going the right direction. I'm gonna keep it going that way. Whatever we can do to get it there, that's what we're here for today.
All right, going down the expense items under the sheriff's office. Just going to address those items. That one, and I'm not sure, this report was run on well, I'm not sure what. Says 6/3, so that would include all expenses through 6/3, I believe. So what I'm getting at is, you got the column of what we've spent year to date, and what was budgeted, and does it justify the new one, like fuel and lubricants right there. We spent 85,000 year to date. And we budgeted 250 and you've gone down 20,000. So that's can you go down more? That's kind of the question.
The fuel is hard to calculate because you never know. You get up one morning and fuel is 99 a gallon, you get up the next morning, or if you go to bed that evening, it's $3.99 a gallon, so
So
it's kind of hard to.
question not the price, question is the amount. How much is this including the additional patrol deputies that you want on there?
Yes,
That
sir.
are gonna be
Yes, sir.
gonna have additional miles. Do that, and then law enforcement supplies, we got 75,000 for the year. And budgeted in 6,500. Is this the one, the ammo? Is this what you're talking about?
Yes, sir. We make one big ammo purchase closer to the end of budget.
Okay,
each year.
and uniforms, we're not anywhere close to what this current year budget is. So does that need to stay? at the
I would
same-
say yes, because the uniforms, you may go a year where everything's good, and then the next year you have budget placing, and then we run into the vest that they wear. Those have an expiration date, and then you got, you know, linebacker size, and then you got junior high size over here, so you gotta make sure that you have the sizes in there available to, and those aren't cheap. And I think right now, we're to a point where we're gonna have to start ordering those as well.
If y'all could cut anywhere, where could y'all cut?
We're asking for new patrol deputies. That'd be enough to give us 4 positions per shift. If we did, I'm drawing a blank.
We could cut office supplies to 8.
I don't think we're the core against what you're saying, but. You want the patrol deputies, that's gonna be however many thousands. If you want this, then you gotta cut here, or we gotta have a balancing act here
Yes.
now. So, we gotta. At least that's my opinion.
We'd like to the point we had 4 patrol deputies per shift with a supervisor working. Right now, we only have 1 patrol sergeant. Part of that probably is gonna go back again to, the attrition, we slowed that down, the turnover of employees. Getting people and keeping them here, we'd like to. We're asking a lot of 1 sergeant. We're asking a lot out of our patrol lieutenant. We're asking a lot out of our captain. We run a pretty light command staff. We run a pretty light package all the way around. But
So if you want that,
I'd like to get a sergeant on
we
your
gotta get the
shift.
money, we gotta get the money from that, which is gonna come from you over here. What are you gonna skim over here to get to that over there?
I think it's gonna benefit us greatly to have a sergeant on each shift.
Then what would you cut? What could we cut on here to get that sergeant?
I'd like to have the 4 deputies. If we could get 2 of them, that'd sure help.
But where can the money come from to get that? Cause the money's gonna have to come from your supplies here from somewhere. Or not, maybe not all of it, some of it, is that right?
Just, I mean, we gotta find it somewhere.
Cause the money's not there. So we gotta find it. And this is what we're dealing with. So if we say, if you want a sergeant, well, then I need to cut this by 50,000. That pays for your sergeant, but you're 50,000 less on this line item. So, said it's a no-win situation.
How much money you talking about we need to cut?
Well, we're over 1.9 million, is that right?
Right now,
Right now,
For total budget for the county?
we're over 1.9 right now, and we haven't done the county court of law, and I think that's all we've got
fire
left.
marshal,
The fire
and
marshal.
that's, doesn't include any of the new employees. There's no new
No
employees.
new- no new position.
And it's right at 1.2 million. If everybody got all the employees are asking for, it's an additional 1.2 million on top of the 1.9 that we're over right now.
So
We'd
the
be
additional
over close.
employees would be another 1.2 on top of 1.9.
Just for all them, not just your department, there's other departments asked for
Yeah.
employees.
If everybody got everything they wanted, we'd be over about 5 million.
Okay. Jim, when I come to you, there's wants and needs. I've never asked you for a want since I've been over there. These are needs that we have, but understanding constraints budget wise where we're at also. But one thing I highly urge is make sure that pay for these employees we currently have stays competitive.
Yeah.
I don't want to look, if we don't get anybody, okay, that's the way it is. It's been that way since before I got here. I don't want to lose any more people than what we got.
I don't think that was an issue with this. We want to do that. But
Okay.
everybody's got wants and needs, not just y'all, it's everybody, even
No,
us.
no, sir, I understand that.
But we gotta figure out what's a need and what's a want.
Yes, sir. These are all needs. There's no fluff in here. There's nothing extra. It's just gonna be a matter of how we figure out how we can get there. We may not be able to do it this time around. It may take 2 or 3 more years till we get there and understand that.
So these are the new positions right here that have been requested countywide. And for the general, and I don't believe there's been any new position, but there was a new position for Road and Bridge.
But it don't affect, the general,
Okay,
it don't affect the general fund.
that's right. Okay, so, these are the positions been requested for, the other departments, and then these are the positions right here for the sheriff and jails. Right there, so you see that the total is, 229,737 for, all the other departments, election clerk, admin, county clerk, deputy, and a part-time library, county court law, admin, and fire marshal. Actually, this one was a reduction of one, it's just transfer. So, and then we've got, these are all the positions requested for the jail, dispatch, jail, and sheriff's office, right there.
If you could pick 2 positions there, let's say 2 for right now. What's the most important position? I mean, they're all important, but what's the one that what if you had to pick one, which one would you want?
Single positions, 2 of them.
Just what's the most important position on there that you need? You had to pick one. We're like, Joe, okay, we're gonna give you a position. Which one do you want? Or which one would you choose?
Gonna have 5 or 6.
No,
Who's it?
We'll start with one.
Pick a category. Which category over there? Deputies, jailers, whatever.
They're all important. We know that, but you get one. What are you gonna pick?
Well, I have to sit and look at that for a little while. Everything, again, what we asked for or needs we have up there, when I, just like the correction officers, when I came here 2 years ago, it was not unusual to keep back there working 20, 22 days straight. 12-hour shifts, 22 days straight, simply because we didn't have personnel there having to cover shifts. And making extra money and all that's great. At some point, you just want to go home and get a nap and wash your clothes. And we're asking a lot of those people, 12 hours a long shift. Deputies the same way. I walked there, I walked over this morning, and the 2 dispatchers we got on, they've got a phone in each. Both of them are on the telephone, talking on the radio, and working in a.
Yeah, I mean, we know they're all important, but we can't.
That's
fill
why
them all.
that's why I'm sitting here looking, and he goes, which one of your kids do you like best? That's what it is to me, because all those people, like, I've been there 2 years and I work my butt off over there, and you're like y'all with your crews, they're all like family to me anymore.
Yeah.
And it's that jail I need to run safe, and we need to
So-
answer calls out here.
Currently, dispatch is fully staffed,
Yes, sir, with the
fully
positions we've
staffed.
got, yes, sir.
and the jail, is it fully staffed, or are all the
Yes,
jailer
sir, I think we may
positions?
have 1 opening, I think we've got 3 applications right now, we're fixing to fill that spot right back up.
Okay. And then the sheriff's office has how many openings?
Right now, our patrol deputies' positions are full. We have the staff deputy, the evidence deputy is open. I have 1 potential one, we're looking at hiring for that position. And we've got 2 CID spots.
2 CID, 1 transport.
Yeah, 2 CID and 1
patrol
transport.
sergeant.
Well, the,
Do I have to answer this question today? Can I get you an
No,
answer
I
later?
mean, I just,
No, sir,
we're gonna work with you, you work with us.
yes, we
But,
will.
you know, reality, we can't do it all, but we wanna get you.
But if I don't come here and I don't tell you about the jail issue we have, I don't tell you, we're not getting our job done, we're not meeting the expectations of the public out here. We're better head and shoulders above where we were, but we're still not where we need to be. In my opinion, doing this for 40 years, we're not where we need to be. So if I don't come to you and tell you these things, I understand you have constraints you need to work under.
We gotta take baby steps. Last
Yes.
year, we took the lead.
It's gonna take,
And
it's gonna take a while.
we're not gonna be where we need to be.
Yes.
We'll never be where we need to be.
We can be better where we're at.
Better where we're
There's
at.
a reason why we're where we're at today.
And we'll try to get better. We just can't, we gotta do a baby step, not a lead.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I agree.
So rather than ask him the number of the positions, what about the dollar amount? What is the dollar amount we will be comfortable with?
I don't know, we gotta look at everybody else. I mean, if you look at what we're fishing.
Well,
up
if you're
against $5 million,
asking him for two positions, it's $100,000. Basically, it's most of them are 47.
That's up for us for to decide, but if he wants to, I think. Say you take $100,000 here, I think you ought to look at some money on this, on both the sheriff and the jail, your expenses. Say, hey, we can cut here, we can cut here, we can cut here, you cut there, then you got the salary paid for. And we hadn't saved any money, but we hadn't spent any more either. And that's where we're at. Cause we can't spend anymore, I mean, we've already spent more than we got.
I understand.
And it's not just your department, it's all of them, I have to go back and look at.
Yes, sir.
But you're the big one.
Yes, sir. I understand. But the cost things keep going up, as you all know. I want to keep the people we got and try to attract a few more.
So I guess one of the questions I would have here is these costs here include the support equipment for 4 deputies, right?
Yes, sir.
Or the additional new deputies, correct, including the auto.
Melon's penciled off about 28,000 right there, just sitting here at the table, we can cut back.
Mhm.
Go ahead, Mr. Foster.
Halfway to an employee.
But you included the cost to equip 4 new deputies, or to have 4 deputies
Yes, sir.
on the road.
Fuel costs, all those
Right.
things were included in.
So if we're unable to get, so that you have a total of 4, some of these can be reduced.
Yes, sir.
Because they would. And the auto. I know we just got 5 new vehicles. What are you budgeting for next year?
How many did you budget? 5?
Whether at least 50,000, 55,000, 60,000, unequipped. Unless you go to,
You're looking at about 100,000, close to 100,000 for each vehicle to purchase the vehicle and upfit it.
that's if you stick with the Tahoes.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
And last year, to this year, those vehicles went up $17,000.
right. If we didn't stay with the Tahoes, because I think, constables, the Durango that we got was 60,000 outfitted total.
That I'm not sure, you know.
I don't know.
Constable Colorado.
Yes. I can go to his budget line. I'm pretty sure it was right, 60,000.
You're at the top. Which,
65,000.
That's fully equipped.
Well, that's with outfitted with all the stuff. And I know Tommy's was,
that was last year.
that's this year, right
That's this
here.
year?
That's in,
Okay.
and yeah, so if I look at Constable 1, we can see what his truck was. was right at 55.
You know. so-
That's not equipped out though, is it? Is
Yes, it is. I believe it is,
that equipped?
because that was last year,
It's the same package of truck.
and they may not. That's right. He didn't get it till this year because. He had it ordered, but it never came in until,
This fiscal year,
yeah,
correct? In the fall, late fall.
Because of the supply chain issues, he wound up cutting it real close on the outfit. You're better off with that price closer to jail.
so. Well, 70,000 probably would be I don't know. Again, it's not using Tahoes.
Yes, sir.
We'd have to go to something else, but that's,
We're kind of using Jeff as our guinea pig to see how.
our test case,
Durango-
our test case, okay?
Yeah.
And we bought two
Durango
areas.
pulled up on the, county roads and stuff because the Explorers, those things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm affordable to run through, but I can give you a nickel for a whole fleet of those.
We bought two Durangos last year's budget. And we're fixing to put one of those into transport. We finally got the equipment in for it,
Mhm.
to get it rigged out. It took forever to get it in. If it's put it over to transport, see how it does.
But again, that one's gonna be highway roads. It's not gonna be, rough,
Stop and go, the
You
constant
know,
stop and go.
driving county roads, stopping and going, hard miles. I don't wanna get into the same situation we were in with those Explorers where we go buy a whole fleet of them and then. They won't hold up.
Half of them spend their time in the shop. So I don't know where to go from here. We're asking you to come back with the top two positions. Or actually rank top three. And of all of the ones that you requested. And we'll have to figure it out.
We have it in the workshop.
We
Our
will,
office.
Commissioner Barton's off next week, or out next week, not off. And when he gets back, probably the week after that, after next week,
Good.
we will have another workshop where we will make some final decisions on what I think it is pretty much determined that as far as I understand from the commissioners, the feedback I've heard is that it'll be a 5% pay raise, not an 8% for the sheriff's office. So in light of, as you see why.
Actually, that was for everybody except for the constables. 5% for everybody except.
Now, you did request us to make a change on the bailiffs, correct?
To align their salaries and also transport deputies, I believe it's a few $100s difference. It'll give us the flexibility to move people around. when We need to.
Okay. So we'll need to sit down. Bailiffs and transport deputies.
Yes, sir.
To make their salary equivalent to a deputy.
Yes, sir. If we need one of them to go to a different position, whether it's solar eclipse or storms come or whatever it be, we can put them out. Job description will be the same because everything be all included there, whether it's courthouse or transport prisoners or whatever it may be written in the job description. It give us the flexibility where I have to slow things up here, I can pull somebody out of here, the transport deputy slow, I can put them in control or vice versa. But I need a patrol deputy, go do a transport, come here to set the courthouse. They're all making the same.
You transfer them between.
Yes, sir.
positions
Day-
as
day to day,
need
you
be,
need
and
to.
they're not penalized for doing that.
Yes, sir.
We'll do an analysis on that, what that cost can be. What else?
I don't know if this is the appropriate setting to bring this up. It's kind of a policy thing, but in my mind, it's a way of saving some money is change the comp time policy. So if I'm a deputy and I get promoted to sergeant, pay out my comp time at deputy pay so that whenever I promote to sergeant, I'm starting flat. So whenever, because right now, the way it's working is they automatically, all that time they banked as a deputy at, $5 an hour is now gonna get paid, $7 an hour just because I changed positions. Does that make sense?
Totally.
Yeah, that works.
I agree with
Not-
that for every department that is not in our policy to pay out.
Right.
So if you're making $10 an hour, say what, and you comp at 40 and you get bumped up to 15, that comp turns into $15 an hour, when you earned it at 10?
Yeah,
It does.
Yes.
yes, it does.
I think we changed.
Okay. All right, that's your job, Jessica. Well, where it really affects is transfers. Okay, you transfer an employee, long-term employee that has lots of accrued time and transfer them to another department and that they get to, they're gonna have that expense. So,
If they've already got their 40 hours banked,
Right.
they transfer to a sergeant's
Right.
position, they're automatically gonna get
They're
overtime
getting a big
pay
old
in the
raise.
sergeant's
Or big
position.
old
Yeah.
company.
but when we changed it though to 40 hours, that solved a lot of issues there. As far as, once they get to 40 hours, we start paying it out, so it doesn't get
Right.
too much.
But you still got that 40 hours that they're getting paid this rate whenever they didn't earn
Right.
it at this rate.
It adds up.
Anything else? Dispatch? Do we need to go to dispatch?
The only thing that increased on the dispatch was the personnel.
So why is the training budgeted for 5,000 and we've spent nothing the last 2 years?
This year is the first year that, there's been a separate budget for dispatch. So,
It was included in the sheriff's office.
yes, sir. And this year, whenever we have a subscription to, Police One and Corrections One. And whenever that subscription came up, there was none of it taken out of dispatch for the 10 dispatchers. It was all taken out of, because I take half of it out of sheriff's office side, and half of it out of the jail side. And I didn't factor in to pull the dispatchers out of the dispatch side. That's a brand new ballgame.
So does that need to be changed? Do they need, the dispatchers need to dues and subscriptions line?
No, the training for the Police One can still come out of the training budget. Just whenever I go to pay it next time, I'll have to figure out how much the dispatch side of it is and take it out of their training.
And can we
Instead
talk
of-
about training, Melanie, because you have a TLS fund that's not being used, and it has about $20,000 in it.
Correct. I've used it, I'm minimal. I haven't used it a whole lot.
If you don't use that money, and you can't prove it, you're gonna pay it back. So I don't understand why we're not using it.
We didn't know about it the first year I was there. We didn't know the county existed.
Well, it's got $26,000 in it
Yes, ma'am.
today. So I mean, why, we need to be using that money when it is T-Clo certified instead of county.
So the classes.
Do we get, is that paid to us up front?
They have to fill out a form each year telling how many officers they have.
Okay. So if we have that much available, then we can cut the training budget, correct?
Where you still can't, you can't take like or I wouldn't be comfortable taking like the police one out of the two close one. Because you have to, I know, but whenever you do the justification at the end of the year for what you used it for, you have to put how many training hours were done. I don't know if you did 15 hours on police one, and I did, 30 hours on police one, and it would break it down to each one. Now, if it's something we're sending individuals to a class, an in-person on-site class, then yeah, I don't have an issue with that part of it. But as far as the police one, I don't feel comfortable taking that out.
So is that 26,000 available to the dispatch, jail, and the sheriff's office, all of them? Or?
That's the.
I think another thing y'all can look at, cut, if you get another employee, that comp time should go down. Y'all can look at lowering that comp time budget too, if you get, for every employee, the comp time should go down. So you can look at that, cutting there too.
I just got it. a little bit.
Yeah, our call volume continues to increase too.
I'm just trying to say that they're working.
I understand we're the same way, and I'll reiterate again, there's nothing on there that we didn't put that we don't need. But I understand the constraints on being able to provide also.
All right, anything else? Sandy, anything else we need to discuss? I know you weren't here for most of it, but we basically just went over the expense side, and I showed the chart that you put together.
Which chart?
This one right here, new employees. I showed that, and we asked the sheriff to pick the top 2 positions that he would like to see.
To cut, correct?
No.
No.
To add.
It's a joke.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
okay. That's
You weren't smiling.
Yes, sir. I think the judge a little bit.
so that's where we're at. Anything else?
County contribution. Just one last mention on it while we're here about increasing county contribution for retired firm boys.
You remember what the amount was? The going to 2% from 1.75, and that was last week, and my
Yes, sir.
Right at 200,000, yes.
200,000 a year. Yeah,
Current employees back to the.
right.
It can certainly help in our recruiting, I think, too. People do the research, looking at places to work. If we increase that, it may help to get and retain employees in the future.
All
Is
right.
that included in that budget, Sandy?
No.
The total number?
No,
Yeah.
No,
So when you did that workshop or this right here. That's not when you did it,
Was it in the 1.9? I think
Yeah.
is what he's asking.
that's what I'm asking. Was it in the 1.9 million over? Was that 200,000 extra included? In
No.
that?
No, it hasn't been discussed that, so.
Okay.
now I will show you, Judge, and Commissioner, what I did yesterday. I don't know if you can get to it or not, Judge.
I can over here. You gotta tell me what the file name is. I have it on my screen. What is the file name? Is it,
Payroll analysis.
is it under general proposed budget?
Proposed budget, yes, sir. Says payroll analysis.
Okay, I'll pull it over here and I'll show you what I have in there. That's what I have.
I go in that 2025 proposed budget. Are you in it? I'm
That's what
sorry.
I'm in right there. Let me,
Well, pretty good.
let me make sure. I'm gonna take it back over here.
Going under that county financial folder. Let's go. You have it?
Yes, I can't see down that far, so I have to.
Now there's the payroll analysis right there.
That's,
Oh, I've got it open, sorry.
I can do read only.
Okay.
It came over here. Hold on. Half on my screen and half on that one. Can't seem to move it.
Okay, I took yesterday, all the total personnel costs from all the positions in general fund. Does not include road bridge, it's just strictly general fund. Column D is the budgeted amount, 10,907,000. That would be what we budgeted payroll for in 2024.
Column D.
Column D, right there,
Okay.
10,907. Column E is what we've actually expensed for this year, and that is through payroll tomorrow. So we've had 19 payrolls this year.
Mm-hmm.
So if we take the budgeted amount, which is, you see the budget there on line 43,
Right
and
here.
on line 44, I divided that by 26 pay periods. So every pay period, the budget says we're gonna spend 419,000 in payroll. So we had 19 payrolls. So if you multiply that by 19, that's where you get the 7,970,000.
Right.
That's what we should have spent if every position was filled
Mm-hmm.
for the budget
Right.
This year.
this year, the year we're in. We've only spent actual expenditure, the 7,000,002. So because y'all, the court enacted last year, no moving from payroll. You know, can't move it down. We're gonna have a savings as of right now in payroll of 768,000. So the fund balance I projected for y'all, the 10,000,002, whatever, will go up by that. Because we will not spend that money in this year's budget. Does that make sense?
But we gotta be careful,
You have to be careful.
because if, say, oh, we got this year, and then next year it's all full, then you're getting this fund balance, it's a constant rotation.
Yes, and that's why you're seeing that negative balance this year so high. Because last year, I kept telling you, if you get into the fund balance for payroll, it's reoccurring and it's gonna come back and bite you every year. If you get into it for a one-time expense,
Right.
you're okay. But that's why we're fighting this year so hard. Because we did such a big chunk last year.
And we don't wanna get in that, or in my opinion, we don't wanna get in that fund
No.
balance for salaries.
I mean, we work too hard to get our fund balance where it is now. We're like right now, we're in a FEMA situation. We do have the money for y'all, you know. I'm not supposed to say that, but anyway, we work too hard to get that money.
Yes,
But that is a true figure. That is where we're at right now on personnel. And that's everybody except for y'all's guys. So, and you know, because when I budget the fund balance, I budgeted 100% revenue, 100% expenditure. So that 100% expenditure right now is not holding true because of that. We know we'll have that left. And yeah, because everybody does, they don't spend 100%. They're very frugal in their spending. The elected officials are.
Hey, Sandy, of the 768, that general fund is under budget on payroll. How much does that make sure is on us? Just ballpark.
Probably
Gotta ask him what,
probably the way majority of,
I have it figured.
I would think it'd have to be at
You
least
don't have to.
600,000.
I think the vast majority of it is
Oh, yeah.
maybe sheriff's office.
Sheriff.
And that's all I'm asking. The reason why that money exists in the previous years is that we can't get the people hired. It just comes back down to the salaries, do the best we can to clean up the reputation, but it comes back down to the salary, and then just ask for y'all's consideration that during this budget process, to make sure we keep those deputy salaries up what they should be. We are competitive. I know we can't match the others. We stay competitive where they're at.
There's right now, as of today, as of the payroll this week, Joe, of that 472,000, 475.
It's not very much, I thought.
That's the jail, the sheriff.
A lot of-
and dispatch.
Well, and two, even though they haven't filled the positions, you're covering it with comp time. So that's taking up some of the salary. In the other areas.
That's based on his budget and what his costs were for 19 payrolls.
But to keep those
That
deputies,
includes the comp.
When I see them there, they're in their 14th hour, finishing the shift, sitting there at a computer, and they're pretty much washed out. I just want to make sure we keep those people we got and try to track some more.
Feel like you could fill these extra patrol positions you asked for easily.
Things are coming around. We're on the right track. I've been there just over 2 years. We filled these patrol positions. And we moved it staff deputy over. I think we can probably fill them. And
I had a
Two
question.
of those positions would be filled by cadets
Mhm.
that are brought from the jail. to
yeah,
go to
we
the
have to use those, 2 of those for the cadets. That's correct.
I have a question from the packet you provided us.
Okay,
I just recently got it, and there was you asked everybody what was the priority, was it people, salary, or
Yes,
equipment? And it says, one of the suggestion was buy the patrol deputies a camera for their vehicles. I thought we signed a contract for,
now they're talking about point and shoot cameras, not body cameras or.
oh, okay, but do we have in-car cameras
Yes,
in all of our vehicles?
the majority of them do,
Because I know that they're quite expensive to
right.
do that.
Some of the older ones, they're not functional. But for the vast majority of the vehicles, yes, they have an
Okay,
operational,
and who has body cameras?
everybody, every deputy.
Every deputy has a body camera. Okay, so we are covered in that regard.
it would just be used for still photographs of evidence.
Okay,
Crime scene.
so that is basically an inconsequential cost, maybe $200 for a,
Yes, sir.
and what is not the phones that they use not suitable for taking pictures, evidence pictures?
That's what they've been using up to this point.
Okay. So, I mean, it gives you a good way to transfer it. Whereas otherwise you gotta, camera technologies.
Well, once you use your county phone to take the privacy pictures, the whole phone becomes, to being called in as evidence.
Mm-hmm.
So anything that's on that phone can be disclosed.
Right.
Are they using their personal phone or that little cell phone?
No, the county phone.
It's a county phone.
Yes.
Yeah, each officer is issued a county phone, correct? Okay,
Yes.
each patrol, okay.
He was looking at buy digital camera.
That was what they were asking for.
Okay. We're at our time limit. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
We will, 2 weeks or so, we'll let you know when the next round
Couple
is gonna
weeks.
be, yeah.
Yes, okay.
Once we get it all together and review it, put all the numbers together, so.
So outside of personnel costs, we're looking at both still, correct?
Yes. Cause some of those costs are related to how many personnel you're gonna have,
Okay.
so.
Pick
Nothing.
your two favorites.
2 or 3. I heard 3 mentioned 1
I
point.
tell you three, it's gonna go to 4 than 5. It'll be a 10 before we know it.
All right.
Okay,
Any other thing else? Any questions we can answer for you?
no, sir. Thank
All
you
right.
so much. Thank you
Gentlemen,
for
thank
all this detailed information too.
Yes.
One of the things that you mentioned that I'd like to see the detail on is the call volume that we were historical and current in the dispatch center call volume.
Yes, sir. I'll pull them, say it's last 5 years.
Yeah,
I'll do that.
that would be great.
I'll get it.
And if you break it out, have it broken out by what the call was about or for,
Yes, sir.
if that's possible.
I'll get it, have it sent to you.
Okay,
All
thank
right.
you. All right, next up is Scott and IT.
Joe, thank you. Have a good day. See you later. Bye.
Re-
Thank you, Kevin.
Um, So. What's new? Since I know iPlow's new.
iPlow is new. And iPlow is into. Where did that come into?
I have it here.
Renewable every year. Or do we have a long term?
This says it's to September. It's September for 1 year.
It would be a.
And that's gonna be. This one.
4 miles.
5650. So what's the count number?
I haven't added that. We'll think of that. We had. We had extra storage for LGS for the DA's office. We had iPlow added. We had, I didn't get the numbers for the HR printer.
Oh, that's
For
right.
the ID badge.
Right. It's about 2,500, I think, a minimum 2,500.
And that would come into the 572. I did
They
add.
get 3,000 until we get, make it 3,000. Until I get confirmation.
A lot
Or-
of, and also a lot of my hardware is based on if the sheriff's office gets all the vehicles and positions for festival.
Okay,
I didn't factor that into the software cost, but I did add the hardware cost.
okay.
I take that back. I added the hardware cost on the vehicles, but I didn't add hardware costs on if they get the in-house personnel that they're looking for. I only added for vehicle outfit.
Okay. Is that a laptop?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
I've added the number of patrol laptops at 2,500 to 15 total for next year. She's got 5 vehicles now that are on order that need to be outfitted at the end of this budget year or beginning the next budget year. And then that's 5 more proposed.
okay.
And
Now,
then she asked me
is the
for-
5 you're talking about the ones they just got? They just got in the
I believe.
last 3 months?
Yes,
Okay.
but she didn't budget for,
Oh, and
we didn't have that in the budget for the computers and stuff.
for this year, so you're putting it in next year's. Okay, so now you're looking at 10 if they get another 5 vehicles, correct?
Yeah, and I had 5 for regular replacement
Okay,
on
Can they
age.
not take their laptop from with them? Or
Well, they
not
do.
bring their
Yeah.
laptop?
They do.
they do.
There's gonna be 5 that we're gonna retire out of age. So I had 5 down and then 5 for the new vehicles, because she said she wasn't retiring any of the other vehicles.
Mm-hmm,
So she's increasing the fleet there. So I put down 15 total. I don't know. She's increasing the amount of deputies by a certain amount,
okay, well, we don't know.
but we don't know.
What the number is going to be. With the,
And then she asked for 5 more ticket printers for those new vehicles, so
okay,
I put that in there.
do you already have ticket printers for the existing?
We got 15 last year
Okay,
and she asked for 5 more for this year.
Do we replace vehicles every year? Like, they're doing 5 this year. Do they do that every year, or some years it's 0, then all of a sudden 5?
No, they try to do them every year, but with supply chain issues, we couldn't get some, and so we wound up doing 10 following year, because it was just one we tried to order the previous year, came in late. Plus, you had to continue on your cycle.
And then that forced them to hang on to some older vehicles, increase the maintenance cost.
See, how it makes sense, just budget for like 2 a year. That way you're spending it 2 and it's a constant expense.
I think they budgeted 5 a year.
that's what they're doing right
5 a year?
Yeah,
How many's out there?
25, 30.
I don't know. I think
We
it's
just got their count all.
21 or 22 on the deputy part, but then you got staff vehicles too.
Probably close to 30 and that.
Yeah.
Probably close to 30, 5 years to place the field.
Supervisor.
That's how I rotate computers. I figure on a fifth of all the computers, so it's like a 5-year cycle. We don't always, and sometimes we keep them a little longer if we can, just to be a little frugal, but normally it's factored in 5-year replacement on computers.
5-year replacement, okay.
While you're on that, Scott, with what we've been through, this FEMA stuff, there will be a admin part-time in Wills Point.
Okay.
Starting in October, so
Okay.
there'll be don't need to be a new one. Computer,
There will
but
be
there
will be a laptop and
one that, whatever you want to get them, but there will be something there that we have to have.
would be in a different office, would be that same one.
Not
Shane's
be
in?
in the same office there where the form is.
So you use that same telephone.
Mhm.
So I've got to add to 572 that said 2,500 maybe for that printer.
So do you need an admin set up in your office?
No,
Even if you just borrow somebody?
no, I think the plan is. I get whoever's gonna be sitting in that seat, but I'm gonna use Lisa. And I think us two just share Lisa up there.
Okay,
I've been fine with what I got. I don't want one.
So we should probably issue Lisa a laptop and make her mobile. Where she can
No.
come work at your office or your place for
No,
a day or,
You're right there.
Okay, she doesn't have to come
And
out.
do the admin work here.
Okay. Okay.
That way she's available to both.
I don't know if you were needing her on-site, like
No.
one day a week or something.
Nothing's changing for 2 or 4, and I was gonna give it 2, this makes sense to me.
Which, have you gotten the workstation over at the fire marshal's office that Vicky had? Have you repossessed it?
Rusty has that.
Okay.
I don't know where it is in the, if it's gonna be
Okay.
recycled, I
She
don't
did-
know the age.
Oh, okay. So she just needed her stuff off of it, and then y'all can do whatever you want with it.
Okay.
It's available, and I'm willing to donate the thing I use up here.
Okay.
Whenever you want it, I'll just use my laptop for Zoom.
Those are actually a little over 6 years old, so it's probably. I don't know if it can be upgraded to.
Well,
Windows 10 's
I will
gonna be-
continue to use it until you say it's not usable.
Windows 10 is gonna end of life next year, I believe. And some of these are too old to upgrade to Windows 11. So they'll have to be. Retired.
Well, when I started here, there was one computer still running Windows 7. I forget where it was. Oh, it was it was Liz. It was a collections person that was still on 7.
I think we were afraid of upsetting iCloud with that. I don't know. Okay, so. On my 420 on my telephone, just going down from the top.
Okay.
I didn't know what to put on there, so I just did the 400, like it to be a worst case. For the 5 sites. We've had to add internet for the tower sites. And we're looking at anywhere from 150 to 400. We don't know, because we're still trying to figure out what is available, what we can get there, and how much bandwidth we'll have to put in, if it'll need to be a dedicated circuit, or if we can get by with just like a residential type circuit.
Right. Well, is it Spectrum an option since
Spectrum is at most
That is the option.
one,
it's the option?
the sheriff's office is not.
It'll be people that's in the city limit.
Right.
City.
So
Sure.
what is what are we paying for the precinct barn 2? Precinct barn 2 for Spectrum, is it 250 or is it 200? Well, that was
Barn
installed.
2, no, that's
That's
I
Spectrum.
think we have the $60 a month plan.
Is that what
That's
it is?
just it's
Right.
like an enhanced residential they gave us.
Okay.
They call it a business. But it's the same bandwidth that you get with a residential plan. And I think it's 60 something a month.
So that the internet charge for the towers is not in the communications budget.
No,
Okay, so it'd be in yours. And what are we looking at? 4 towers? At
5.
well,
There's 4 Spectrum and 1 Peoples.
right.
We still have to bring the new fiber, dedicated fiber. They've got it at the road, but they don't have it all the way to where the new tower is gonna be at that.
Okay.
Should it not be in the communications budget? Mr. Reese?
Well,
I mean, one of these days, you're going, it may be,
what we're trying to do is consolidate all the contracts related to equipment, services and software under one place. So that, you don't have multiple departments configuring or ordering and contracting. That's kind of the theory behind it. And that way, the one department knows what all is available.
Okay.
That's the theory.
Being an internet and IT.
It's an
that's
IT
why
part.
I hadn't put it in communication, but.
So I don't have a problem with it. And actually, the security stuff is under your budget too, right? Security cameras. Other than,
When we bought new, yes, I've gotten new security cameras on this year's budget, actually 13. They were asking for,
okay, so the new security cameras for,
it's for the courthouse.
I thought we already got some. Or did
We
we,
did get some, but there's still some the older models out there,
the outside ones, outdoor ones?
probably.
Okay,
I think there's some outside, some inside.
Oh, yeah.
Some on the third floor.
We're all of them for the courthouse, or are we thinking some for anywhere else?
They're
All 13.
Yeah, it's kind of a whole number from last year.
And are you paying for the security cameras at the DA's office?
I don't remember if I paid those or not. Some of that stuff they were able to get through.
Grants.
Well, I think maybe she had some
The
seed
state.
funds too, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay,
not, I don't really remember. I don't think I did pay for those.
okay. But what about the door?
The door. I think I did pay for that, didn't I?
I just,
And that just happened and I still don't remember.
yeah. I'm pretty sure you did.
I might have.
I remember you
I might-
objecting strenuously about it coming out of your budget, because it wasn't in the budget. But I just want to make sure we don't have any other.
But in the end, I did.
In the-
I don't think we have any more door increases that we need to make unless it might be at the sheriff's office if they change something out there. But now that we've got the one at the DA's office and do we have everything that's ready here for as far as doors go that we need to, don't have anything to add to that. It was just those 13 cameras that are causing problems on the software because they're older models.
Hey, for two door controllers and two keypad readers out of Tonga's office, is that what?
Okay,
And that, she did take that out of the forfeiture.
but the security, isn't there a maintenance contract for that, or is there?
No.
Is there a maintenance contract on our doors?
We never had a meeting. I don't think it's ever had a meeting. Right, we just.
Pay as we go?
Yeah.
All right, what else?
So adding that stuff will increase 420 to 103, 330.
So how
Adding the
much?
tower and
Okay, increase it to how much?
103, 330.
Whoa,
It was 5 sites with a possible 400 a month for 12 months. It added 24,000.
I think we ought to create a separate line item for that so that we can track that separately. Is that a doable thing? Sandy?
With the internet for the tower?
Yes.
Do you ever use that ADP system line, Scott,
EDP system.
that 424?
No, I don't know what that was for. I don't remember.
Change that to
Okay,
tower telephone.
So add
Make it
the,
up.
power internet.
so 24,000 on that one. And not there.
Yeah.
Okay. And change that to tower internet or something.
Power internet. That's 24,000? Was that the number? Okay.
Yes.
So,
So, how many cameras do we have here? Because we bought 15 new cameras in February.
30 some odd. I think the software will hold up to 30 or 32.
I guess would be about 36, 38.
We bought 15 new ones this year.
Well, yeah, because when I run a 36 grid and I don't have all the cameras on.
I think last year we were going to do all of them, something happened with the fund, forgot. Something, but it didn't run slow or something.
When, please get with me in maintenance if you're replacing cameras outside.
Okay.
So that we can monitor how it's being done and how it's being attached to the building and stuff. Appreciate that.
How come the radios have to have internet?
It's a backup to the microwave. If something happens to the microwave repeaters, they can communicate through the internet. And also, I believe we could get updates and maintenance through the internet, through be a little bit slower through the microwave.
and the two cores tied together through the internet side as a, not only as a backup, but that's what ties into the other counties for the roam.
And the automatic takeover, if something fails. I think those messages get sent across the internet. But I don't remember what that's called.
I guess the monitoring is, monitoring of the tower.
For us to get in and look at alerts.
Is done over the internet, right?
Yes.
Not anticipating 400. Not figuring what we done, precinct 2 would probably work, but we'll try to tackle that.
Probably will. I just don't know for a fact it will, because there was some talk about whether it had to be the dedicated, because there's no SLA on that, and you have maybe 10 meg upload, and that's where the bottleneck would be. Really should be, I don't know, 10 is like bare minimum, isn't that right?
10 is a requirement for a core to upload. They want 10 available at that site for a core to upload. The regular sites, 5 of us is fine.
So with a coax plan like that, you're gonna get up to 10. They don't have anything with an upload higher than that unless you go with a dedicated fiber plan.
Okay, so if we're doing Spectrum though, wouldn't that be a,
Spectrum would have up to 10, but you'd probably get somewhere between 5 and 7 in reality.
okay, I thought what's the difference in the fiber that they have right now? We're connected to their existing fiber.
You talking about at the barn?
Yes, not at the barn, but at the towers.
It'll be basically the same things at the bar, we put that at the tower side.
Right, and that would
Okay.
be 300 by 10, I believe.
Okay,
But there isn't a service level agreement, so it could be below 10.
okay, but can you get it greater than 10?
That's as high as that plan goes.
Okay,
It's an upload of 10. To go higher than that, you have to go to a dedicated fiber plan. That was 400.
400, okay,
And not really available at all locations, because I tried to get that for precinct 2 barn at one point. I looked into that and that wasn't available
Mhm.
in that area, so I doubt it's available in the South Tower
okay,
at this point. But things are changing constantly with that.
right,
When I first started looking at precinct 2 barn, there wasn't a business plan, but they wound up making a business plan for us.
then that, okay.
So they actually called that a business plan.
Well, we're ready to do it. Let me be involved. Because I know, talk to somebody to see what options are available to us as a government entity.
And that's who we were talking to the other day, I think was, but the person that did the government part was on another call or something and not part of that call. He was supposed to have been part of that. And that would have helped us a little bit to have that person, but he wasn't there. So we could do a follow-up with that person.
Send you all the information for the talk to with them back in spring. Follow up with that, because that's what it's telling me right now, is the grant and the residential building. They haven't come back and done the dedicated fiber, it's not available yet. So
Okay,
you're gonna wind up with something similar to what's the precinct 2 now.
okay,
Scott's trying to plan for when they do get dedicated fiber available, he wants to be planned budget for it. We will be able to get dedicated fiber at the SO.
At the SO is available, that's through Peoples.
And that's the primary core site.
that's
We
PC,
need that there.
Peoples,
That's Peoples. yes.
okay,
And if we could get dedicated at Will's Point, so that we'd have both the cores on the dedicated, we could probably get by with the lower
The other three
at
things.
the other three. It's gonna be somewhere in the middle. I was just hitting the worst case.
Okay.
And we were talking about 457 going up. I didn't actually add iCloud to this yet.
okay,
Do you have, I was gonna look that up.
5650.
5650. I have it right here if you want.
Is it, so it's 5650 and another charge? I thought there was 5650 plus 2 licenses or something.
No, it's for 10 licenses.
Okay, so 5650 is it. Okay.
Yeah,
So that would add.
10 concurrent user license. That will well cover the district attorney, district clerk and the county clerk.
Skills of the bank.
My understanding is they're doing. I don't know if there's any expense for transferring data from one of the systems to the other. That wasn't conveyed to me, but that was, we probably need to find that out.
The way when we had the compliance officer, that was manual input. They would go run a report from LGS and manually put their.
I have notes about that whole conversation and why it had to be that way. I just got to go dig them out to find out why.
So Judge, that brings that 457 to 251, 254.
And that includes 251, 254.
Yes, sir. And that did include the extra for LGS requested by the DA's office.
Okay. Now, sheriff's office, the equipment, it's under the equipment. That's the additional laptops.
They have.
Correct.
Yes, and additional cameras to go in those vehicles, whatever they are.
Right.
And adding those vehicles adds $12,000 for the 5 to.
Just do it per vehicle. How much does that add per vehicle? About 2,500.
Whatever be divided by 5. But that goes to the WatchGuard video on my 590 line item.
Right. The camera themselves are like 2,000, and then we got the monthly
Yes, so they're
fee to upload the video.
the hardware itself is in the 572, but the recurring is in the 590. So depending on how many actual vehicles they get, that could adjust.
And what is the recurring per vehicle?
Recurring per vehicle is that.
About 100?
But the 12,000 divided by 5. So 2,400 recurring per vehicle. Annual.
120 a month. No, it's not.
200.
Yeah. Okay.
Those. I added. They requested more, was it the district clerk's office requested? More scanners, I added. 2 more
Karen
scanners.
said she asked for 2 scanners and.
Right.
I
And
added those and
you already had some for the county clerk, right? In this
Yes.
year's budget.
yes, I had 2, so I've got a total of 4 now.
Okay.
So it's 2 for each of the clerk's offices.
Okay. But didn't you have some in this current fiscal year budget? Money for
Mm.
scanners?
I think I did have 2. If I bought those for them.
Yeah, I
Yes,
remember
I believe so.
talking about it, so I could check that out and say, get whatever we can.
And I wasn't sure if that was for the clerk's offices or if that was for, because I bought some for the treasurer's office as well this year.
No, I remember talking with Susan. When we were doing our budgeting process last year, and she was putting it in hers, and then I talked to you and said, you put it in yours, and so I told Susan, take it out of yours because it's in yours. Take it out of hers.
I think she got it. Didn't she? One of her office.
I talked to Karen the other day, I think it'd be in her budget, not yours, that about a camera. we do not take pictures of passports. They have to go to CVS or wherever and spend 15-20 bucks for passports. Why can't we take a picture of it up there and collect the 15-20 bucks? She's done 600 of them this year.
Well, we don't have to do it. The individual applying for the passport has
They
to.
come and apply for the passport. Well, I don't have a picture. We'll go down to CVS, get your picture, come back.
Mhm.
Instead of doing that, okay. We can collect, and we added up, it's $9,000 we would have collected this year off passport pictures.
Mhm.
You have to maintain the hardware, and I think you'd have to do. I don't think you could just have a paper printed. You have to have a photo.
It's gotta be a white background, white background.
Yeah, but the actual photo itself has to be. There's specific requirements of that. You can't just be like a printed out photo.
Right, no, it's gotta be
Well, it's gotta be on a.
It's gotta be a
kind of stock, the kind of stock that's printed out on. So it's-
surely we got that. We got the capabilities here already.
Walmart uses a light screen, like pull down, that when the arm on the floor, right when you stand. Take it. Print it out.
Prints out on that little strip. thing.
You have that extra?
Yeah,
Do you?
That's what we-
Well, no, yeah, seriously, it's ten.
but she can't, she doesn't want to be collecting money though.
It's $10,000. She'll take it and just pay the district clerk, but it's $10,000 as of right now, this year. Food for
Okay,
thought.
so we've got the increase there, and then what was added to 572 brings that to 236,800 with the addition of HR's printer. I think that's everything I had added. Oh, no, there was one more, 578, because I forgot to put the Pitney Bowes in there. So I had to increase that to $50,400.
The Pitney Bowes.
Because I had forgot Pitney Bowes was in that one.
Okay,
That's the
that we will,
578.
we will be on our last year of Pitney Bowes next year of the contract. And I will be researching our alternatives and options. So 578 is what now?
578 is 50,400. Where I had the 44,000.
Okay,
That was just adding the Pitney Bowes. I didn't print that one out. Yes. Yes. Did we do the increase on 590?
590.
That was because, yeah, that had. It's in that. Southern. Oh, is that?
590 was the one that has the watch guard
Watch guard.
cost in there.
Oh, I know why it went up, because there was some net data recurring that I had forgot about. Or didn't know was coming through, and Sandy gave me the net data increase. The portions that were keeping them in, the justice of the peace and jury selection. The encryption device, and that was a total of 52,365, so that increased that. To 258. 258, 900, it was 800 something. Is that too much to take out of JT Technology for them, for their net data portion? I think we tried that before, but they weren't keeping it. So that's 38, the JP. and the jurisdiction, and then no limit on that was that encryption device. They
I
used to
hate
be
to do that,
required.
because we don't collect that kind of money.
We tried it before, and we did that in a heartbeat, so.
We've got.
Was there anything else? Or you said you had 60. You said on this one. That doesn't include active.
That doesn't include that.
This doesn't include active fund. This is only the net data.
That's the
things.
reason I'm wrong.
So that's the icon for JPs, for the clerks, juries, and the encryption devices just for them to connect.
No, that's it.
Okay.
Well, I don't know.
So yeah, that brought my 590 up to $258,900.
And we, Southern Software, we've gotten all that converted correctly. Everything's been converted. And there was a net data server that we still had. Was it net data or just a solution? I can't remember which.
We have the data downstairs and it's turned off right now. It's been off. for-
Okay, so, and we quit paying for the
No,
license.
we haven't paid on it in years.
Okay, all right,
Then we finished the justice collection.
conversion,
That.
okay. So, that's all cleaned up, good.
Send over Jenny. Somewhere in the winter. If the SO gets all the positions, and like I said, I didn't include the software, so we'll have to. Like, that's gonna increase 8x8 for the SO, that's gonna increase our office licenses, our Adobe licenses.
We tasked the sheriff with picking two of 50, or two or three of the 15.
I think we said two.
Yes.
Well, I have not adjusted any of the software for new positions anywhere yet.
Okay,
So we'll have to get the total of how many people all over are getting new positions to increase the software
okay.
a little bit. What y'all decide. And I'm gonna try to get you a breakdown of how much each one costs, so you know,
Each software.
each position. If you
Oh,
add
yeah.
an SO person, it's
Right.
gonna cost this much for software.
Cause you got
That's
watch guard license, and then you got,
Well, yeah, and I did not include the body camera. She's gonna get another CID person, it's a body camera
mhm,
and a phone
mhm.
and a computer.
Yeah, let's start working.
It just snowballs.
Yeah, it does.
Everything's tied to everything else. Okay. I think that's all I had for me.
Okay,
Does anybody ever come here with less money? Or always want more? Oh, it's always that.
One thing about, as long as the county's growing, IT's gonna go up.
Right.
That doesn't mean anything.
yeah, and the objective is that use the IT to make the people more productive.
Yes,
That's the idea.
that's the idea.
There's something that I would like for you to put in the budget.
Okay.
And that is to redo the wireless network in the courthouse so that it hits everywhere. I don't know if you've ever, but I was kind of waiting to see what's going to happen with the restoration. Because there's no point in doing it until we are, discussing it until we find out if we're going to get the restoration grant, because that would fall in there naturally if we did it then. But if we don't get a restoration grant or don't follow through with it, it would really be nice to have wireless available everywhere. Because I know it's sketchy in here. I don't have it in my office. I know Judge Winters doesn't have it in his, and there should be something we could do. I'm thinking, but I don't know. I haven't researched it. What says you?
Got a big Faraday cage,
It's what?
big Faraday cage. Every wall's got metal in it.
Metal and
And it
concrete.
kills that city.
We'd have to put
And
a,
I put one in Judge Winters. 3 years ago. I think it's in his office. Problem is the laptop will hold on to it. And if they walk over here to hit this radio, the laptop's not dropping. Yeah, but I mean, the last one, we could have got me out here to look at it.
if you put an access point in like Judge Reese's office, you're still gonna have that problem where when he comes into here, it's,
Switches over.
Well, I don't know how you fix it for me, but thank you. I can open my book up, get it ready in my office, and come over here, and it stays right online, keeps on working now, and it used to not do that. So what
Somehow
have you
you're
done?
staying on this one by some miracle.
Whatever it is, thank you.
Mine. If I go downstairs, mine drops.
It used to, I'd be all good to go, and I walk in here and all of a sudden panics, I gotta redo everything, get back up.
Yeah, I go downstairs, mine drops. and I
Make
yell at
that a
myself.
long-term goal, okay, we won't do it. Oh,
Well-
it is, okay,
We do have
And again-
a network line item that is for stuff like that,
okay,
included in the 572. So
okay.
that's a constant struggle to keep that going, or increase and improve. We're always trying to figure that out.
But I mean, my hotspot works fine, but you know, I just feel
With
like
a normal building with sheetrock walls and
Yeah.
normal studs would be okay.
but
It's a
there's
fortress.
metal, yeah,
This is a fallout shelter.
it is
Used to have the fallout
No,
shelter
but-
signs down in the.
in the bottom floor. Where did you congregate?
I don't
In the
know,
hallway?
probably downstairs.
Is everywhere, anywhere? Okay,
I don't know if I'd want to be here in a nuclear blast, but it'd be better, I guess, than being in a mobile home. I don't know.
That's-
But I'd rather be home than be buried under the courthouse.
yeah, that's true. All right, anything else? All right, we'll take a break. And 11 o'clock, we have fire marshal.
That's nice. Over there, like all the wires. What are you doing?
Yes. that's fine. Don't end, man.
It'll work out somewhere, it'll.
So would Karen be good with doing her own photos?
I talked to her and, I'll talk to her again, but yeah, I mean, I think she was good with it. And I didn't think, I started thinking about it when I brought it up, it's gonna be a digital camera. I think she said it's $1,500, but we do have to have the right paper.
Right.
and
Right,
I'm
and
sure we
and
got
there's a
that.
special printer too, a digital printer. Would it be that,
But we talked about it, because the reason I got into it is I had to get some passports.
mhm,
And I was putting my passport and, I was like, why don't we do pictures of here? Never had. And she goes, I send them all the time. They come up here, they got everything but the picture. And she sends them, she set a spot over here for CVS.
I boxed it up,
Yeah, I'll box it up. That's the one.
the post office,
And I said, well, how much? does it
CVS.
cost? She goes, $15 to $20. I'm like, when they come up here, why can't we take a picture and take that $15 or $20? She goes, we can, we just never have. I said, how many have you done this year? She looked it up, she had done 562
really,
this year. It's like 562 times 15, between $8,600 or something.
Yeah.
It's like, my God, we can get $10,000 or $12,000.
Yeah.
Just off the back.
Mm.
That's up. Well, I'll talk to her again today.
we just, need to do some research on what kind of printer it needs to be, or what kind of.
Well,
What,
when I got mine at CVS the other day. And took it, and they just went to the disc out, put in there, and I watched it hit print and it comes off on
Yeah.
The picture paper.
Yeah.
Paper.
mhm,
Took it, and done. Took 2 seconds. But that right there pays for her raises.
well, you gotta account for the labor that's gonna be involved too. You can't just say it's all profit, there's gonna be some labor involved.
The labor's involved, the person's already hired, we're paying me.
Right, I forget.
Just can I have to talk to y'all too sometime?
Okay. Well, we got some time after the fire marshal, if you wanna do it then.
And I think the only thing it costs us would be the paper. If we don't have a printer that's set up for it, that would, but
Yeah, we don't have a printer.
then we pay for itself in a year.
As long as she's already collected money and it's just another line item on that makes it easy to do.
I'll talk to you a bit, I'll ask.
Tom said he'd be here. Whoa. Did he say 11? He said he'd be here 11:30.
Josh is at 11, isn't he? Josh is tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, 11:30. It's on it.
And I will make. He's got, he's almost. Yeah.
He just said something, he wasn't gonna be here till 11:30.
Yeah, I'm just texting him back, told him we had him scheduled for 11:30 or 11.
So what time's he gonna be here?
He said. I told him we were ready for him, he said he'd be there at 11:30, and I realized he's scheduled for 11, so I texted him back.
Can we have Sandy and Jessica?
Yeah, we could go ahead and do that. If you want to get Jessica. Sandy, do you, what do we need to do? What areas that we're missing that we haven't done yet, other than Josh? And, we,
Have been represented, and then we've got everybody done.
okay. So I'm trying to think of what we're gonna do tomorrow, what we need to do tomorrow as far as any fill in, you know, do we go back and do the making decisions on the sheriff's department and stuff like that, so.
What I did is, for some reason, during the night, I thought about, Harry and the Veterans Memorial person and the emergency management person. They are set up in our system. There's no such thing as a stipend in county government. They
Okay,
have to be set up as employees, and we have to take Social Security, all the retirement, everything, except with the exception of, health insurance. So for some reason I got nervous because like emergency management right now is working numerous hours.
correct.
Part-time employees that work over 40 hours a week get paid for their comp time. So she reached out to Haley and this is what she got back from Haley. So they are, they're, we have been listed as exempt.
Does the fire marshal fall under this also?
Not because of the time sheet.
Okay,
He's actually hourly, he's doing, I think it's like 25 hours a week. That he puts in every week,
okay,
so he doesn't fall under this. Based on the salary threshold, these two employees cannot be exempt from overtime under the current regulations and the new regulations. And they recommend these employees are non-exempt. There could be a large liability for misclassification. So if they stay exempt, they would have to go up to that new threshold in January of 58,656.
Well, you can't do
So
that.
he, I mean.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
if they would go hourly, you would base it on whatever their weekly, hourly structure is gonna be, or if they're gonna be a 24-hour part-time. They can't be, have an average of over 30 hours.
where they qualify as receiving all benefits that the county offers.
Can we contract with them? Can we set it up as a contract with them to perform a service of X number?
I don't know, if it's in the federal labor laws, if it's a position and they do that work every day, then you have to consider them employed.
But it's as far as Vicky's concerned, she was doing, that was a position, but she was volunteering her time. So, I mean, that wouldn't hold up. I mean,
Yeah, federal 8-hour lunch, I just happened to think about that, because when she was doing when we were paying her like 6,000, she was fine. But she'd go file her taxes and that wouldn't affect her that much. But when you bump her up to 12 and 22,000, well, she wants something taken out of it, because when she goes to file her income tax, she hasn't paid no social security or nothing on that, but then she can come back and it's a liability for us. She can come back and go, oh, well, I'm turning into like for not doing this.
When we started that last year's budget, paying her, we had all the things start coming out of her check.
How was you tracking her time then?
You have to be, that's why I just have it on track.
It was called a stipend.
I see the senator. I just happened to think about it, and I come and ask Jessica, and she's like, well, they don't punch a time clock.
So it doesn't affect the fire marshal because he turns in a timesheet.
Same.
So,
My understanding. I'm going back to the computer.
so if Vicky and Harry turned in a timesheet.
Anything over 40. If it's over 30 average, we have to offer them health insurance. And anything over 40, like with Vicky right now, there's no time to be
Mhm.
We would have to pay her overtime.
So the thing about the fire marshal, he's just putting the same regardless of where he works.
Which is a no too.
Yeah, she paid for
Every hour he's working, he should be paid. So he can come back, just like the jailers did out of the jail. They came back and made an act of, they made a.
Accusation.
Accusation that they were being made to punch out and then stay and update the next shift.
Mhm.
Here they came.
And that's my understanding when the county went to the better time clock system, we just want to pay.
Well, would you check with TAC about making it a contractual relationship? About what because I think it can, because of the fact that they're not, they have their own independent decision-making ability. They're not reporting to anybody per se. And they're,
Contracts. Then they'll get a 1099.
right. Well, there's, from an individual, if they're worried about the taxes, there's a way to handle that personally, so that they don't have to deal with it. They can pay it as they go, but just see what if it can be handled contractually, so that we can.
So if you do a 1099 on them, when they file their income tax, they will have to pay the social security and match the social security.
Mhm.
That way, they'll have to do their
Right.
own matching. It'll be like a self-employment for me.
So we weren't. Prior to last year, we weren't paying taxes on it. How was that?
Once Vicky went up from last year, she requested we start taking taxes out of her check.
But we weren't before. How are we not taking them out? Because it was called a stipend.
Yeah, this is. There's different lines that you put people in that show what's eligible to come out of their check. And for as long as you've been here, it's been the way where nothing came out at all. It's either yes or no, in each category. Federal, social, Medicare, retirement, you choose.
So she was still having to pay it, correct? Did she get did she get a W-2?
Yeah, you'll get them too, but just shows nothing's gonna happen.
Right, okay.
Whether they have, how they set up their.
So she still,
policies, how they set up, but she wanted to be under the categories where it showed everything. It's eligible to be with that.
okay,
The veteran guy, it ought to be fixed easy. I mean, he just. He doesn't turn in time sheet. Well, I mean, he can start.
He would have to go from exempt to an hourly employee.
Be on that.
Determine number of hours that you're gonna allot for that budgeted position.
Yeah.
And part-time, if you haven't had any other benefits.
Right.
Except the retirement.
And so there's no allotment from part-time exempt.
No.
We just been doing it wrong all this time.
so, but you're going to run into another potential problem that you will not be meeting minimum wage. Like in Vicky's case, if you start, well, if you put it based on the hours she works right now, you know, and the same pay rate, she's probably not making minimum wage. So if we go back to full paying her an hourly wage, then now we got to figure out how to budget for all this other extra time. And where is money gonna come from?
Well,
Because it's supplement, she's getting paid from another job, another job's paying her to be here.
Yes.
and that 30 hours is for the year, so say she works 50 hours this week. You can drop it down to 10 the next one, 10 the next one, 10 the next one, you average out to 30. It's gotta be an average of 30 for the year, right?
Correct. You're over 30 for the year. A new hire, they have an initial period, but we can work it within our budget to know by that time if it's gonna. Allow them to be over, like I do send. Chad on his part-time person, he likes to know exactly where they're at, like right now, he might be like 26.75, not what they're average. And that's good, but we have to watch that every quarter to see where they're at.
So we have to do the same thing with, for example, Vicky. Have to watch her hours.
But still, even, you know, on situations like we've had in the last month, she's gonna be over 40 hours in a single week, which means we're gonna be paying her overtime. So,
How does it handle the extension like these, because
They only have a supplement, because they're paid for.
because they're paying from the next day leave.
Yes,
Why couldn't this be a supplement? Because Vicky's getting paid from, who is it? Net Health. Why couldn't this just be a supplement? That's all it is.
probably could, but there are additional payroll. But they get nothing from us. The Agrilife, they get nothing from us except the supplement. And as for her issue was that. she
And
only
there's no taxes being taken out of it,
doing nothing.
of the AgriLife.
So our supplement goes to ag. And then ag.
Early,
Yes,
you take everything but retirement from me, because they're getting that salary.
yeah, they send their document down with their new employee start, which says they do all of those other things.
We just send the supplement to Agri-Life and then they pay them.
No, we're paying
They
them.
don't send anything back.
No, we're paying the supplement directly to the AgriLife, the employees.
Yes.
They are employees of the county.
How that work then? How come we can't do that with the emergency man?
Hmm.
How come we can't do that with emergency man?
She wants,
Well, it's listed as a county position, I mean. It's not supplement through.
another company.
Your partnership.
See, I was looking at, okay, we did 30 hours a week times 26 pay periods, so that's actually 52. 20, we do 30 hours a week times 52 weeks. That's 1,560 hours. And her salary is 22,280 divided by 1,560. She's making $14 an hour. So she's making it like.
Okay.
She's good there, we're good there.
Okay. All right,
So we would just have to make her start punching on the time clock. And anything over 40, she's gonna get paid overtime.
We have to manage the hours to make sure that the average doesn't come.
It won't, it won't. I mean, could it? Yes, it's possible, but you'd have to have disaster after disaster after disaster for that to happen. Or COVID after COVID after COVID.
I just knew the liability the county was taking on, that's why I reached out to Jessica.
so you did 30 hours or 40? How many hours for Vicky did you do? 30, okay.
30 times 52 weeks. It's 1,560 hours a year.
All right. So it's doable, we just need to figure out how to, accounting wise, they need to start doing time sheets. And Vicky will have to do,
But the week she don't work 30 hours a week, she can get paid 30 hours a week.
right,
Right. She'll only get paid for what she worked.
say that again, say
If she
that,
only worked 3 hours that week, she'd only get paid for 3 hours.
right,
Now you don't know how many hours she worked.
you'll have to.
You're going.
But she dropped the ball.
To get what we plan to pay her on that, what we used to call the stipend, then she's gonna have to work 30. I mean, she's gonna have to turn in 30 hours a week.
Social report, but you physically work, that's right. If you aren't working, you should be paid for it. That works for you, really, you know. We can't just say, you push this time clock. And work what you want to work. You bring two, which will pay you an hourly rate, get you more. You can't do that, because when that person be over here, the clock in when they start, now when they finish all that. We have to be the exact same, that's just another labor. Maybe it's even more. That's why I'm not sure why Sean's is at 25 hours a week. It might should be 2502 or 2305 or, you know,
Change it up a little bit.
I mean, that's just.
So we need to come up with a
Cause then you walk into.
consistent manner in which these people need to do it.
They know about this yet?
No,
I don't, is there anything wrong with them turning in a handwritten timesheet, not punching a clock,
Yes, I'm talking system.
right?
So it would be separating them from all other hourly employees, I mean, you always have paper time sheets or your election work.
What about the guys at the collection stations? They punch a time clock,
I plug in now, fine.
okay?
Elizabeth punches the time clock. All part time. It does the 2 part-time get it over to the clock. It's a time clock. Any part-time that we hire. Anything on anything, there's time clock, road bridge.
Trustees don't.
No, they should. Maybe first place that.
And food, and drugs.
And doctors, and lawyers, and dentists. A lot more than us.
All right, if you would draft a policy. Well, I guess. Is it just gonna affect those 4 people? 3 people? We don't need it for AgriLife, right? Because that's a true stipend. But we will for the others about them punching the clock.
Well, Sean, it don't
Well,
affect,
it's, I mean, our,
Sorry.
already have exempt and non-exempt in it. That policy is already in, it just. Learning this new regulation came down on their thresholds, is what's prompted this review that's.
Right.
Somebody's been set up.
Well, technically Sean's exempt. But he doesn't meet the,
His criteria to be, he's,
okay,
he is listed as a part-time employee. He punches, he puts time in and times.
okay,
yeah, so he's fine. Sean's fine.
okay. So we just need to change the other 2 to do the same thing.
Yes, that's the same thing like that the DA's office is converting.
So we already have the policy in place. We just need to tell the people that.
She's already. I'm already called her person when it's on.
Mhm. Okay.
Makes sense, but what would you put time clock out from Vicky? Is.
You put it on your phone.
Oh, you
Put it on your phone.
above my head there.
We'll put it on our phone and train her how to use it, and then we change time clocks.
That's right.
That's what's gonna happen.
No, we should be on that time system. So that would be when we would start.
Do what?
Yeah, that's when we hope to start.
Okay.
I'm sure that new system that you use your phone too.
Oh, yes, yeah, we requested that, to have the same 3 places that we have. A regular time clock, a computer, and your solar. And we started this morning.
Started what? This morning. The new version?
Conversion.
Conversion, okay. And when do we go live? Oh, October 1st, that's right. So they're just doing passive data, right? You know, like the terms, vendors and stuff like
Yes.
that. Okay.
That is in the chat. We are gonna have a line stop check so that.
We don't have to have our checks printed after Kenny just bought a whole year's supply, didn't he?
No, we didn't.
Okay.
Watch them, she buys.
Okay. So do you need a micro, you need a special printer that prints a special micro coding? Did they go away from that? Okay. I just knew you used to, many years ago, you had to use special kind of ink
Well,
on,
we haven't got that. Still copies of checks.
okay.
No, everything. All the copies. Yeah, it's section.
Okay, what else do you got, Jessica?
Go ahead, quiet.
Ah,
I'm gonna.
Don't be making-
We're talking, comp time of the change positions.
Okay, yeah. Don't
Maybe.
making promises you can't keep.
That's what's in there.
Well, I'll give y'all an update on the bus, I guess, since this is a fire marshal. We got all the maintenance work done on it. It hadn't been done, I don't know how long. And, they took it in to get it inspected. And it failed inspection because of the, reflectors. There was several reflectors that were broken and then scraped off. And because the window tinting on the front windows and door, was too dark. And when the inspector reached down and touched the tie rods, the rubber fell off. And so we got it back and we had new tie rods put on. And had to have it aligned after that, and decided that we would bring it back and do the repair work on the reflectors and the tinting ourselves. And then take it back in to get it inspected. So that's where we're at on the mechanical, but everything else has been done on the engine and the wheel bearings have been repacked and new oil put in. And now we've got to work on there he is. I'm telling him about the bus. We're riding the bus.
Sorry.
So
It's okay.
we will be then working, as soon as we get inspected or in the process, we will work on getting the generator serviced and the air conditioning, the rooftop air conditioning units repaired. One does not work, and just probably have the other one serviced. So we hope to have that all done by the end of this fiscal year. But anyway. All right, you're up, Sean.
So the biggest change that I'm asking for consideration on is, the addition of another deputy to help. The biggest help would be to cover abatement, since that seems to be the biggest hottest topic going on in the county. So that's what the increases, for everything is, in my line items. Other than that, the line items would have no reason to necessarily increase so much, other than, bus maintenance would be the other reason, on there. But, we're just looking at, Ashley is set to finish, she has gone through DR school. She's taken her test, I think in 2 weeks. So her and John are gonna split duties.
DR.
That's District Representative Septic.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have them, splitting duties, in the county on that, to try and help. So, hopefully one gets, I'll have John probably covering, the north 2 counties, and Ashley on the south, since they live north and south.
Precinct.
I'm sorry, yes, precincts. I'm still driving fast in my head. So, but then, with the addition of another deputy, I feel like I could have someone focusing then, primarily on abatement, and then, we could hopefully do a bigger hit on that kind of stuff, and really start trying to make a big hit. We did have a meeting, Ashley attended, with the JPs and the new, I guess we've hired a private attorney to represent or to help guide the county on
It's
a
a
civil or
civil
something.
attorney.
Okay, that's a better word. And he come in, she said he first started talking about prostitution and drugs, and everybody was kind of like, whoa, we're more like trash. I mean, maybe there are some
Yeah,
of
we
those
don't wanna
issues, but
control that.
we're kind of more concerned with some other stuff. So, anyhow, that she said it was kind of course, Jeff in precinct 3, that dude, if you tell him get in the rocket ship, we're going to the moon, he's jumping in on the top and, going with us. But precinct 2's commission, the constable there, he was just like, hey, I don't do trash, don't look at me. So he's not really willing to jump in and help much. She said there really wasn't a lot of consistency on the JPs on gelling on what to do with stuff just yet. So we still got a lot of legwork on communication and getting all the JPs together on exactly how we're all gonna work together. And so it's uniform. You know, I mean, it's really not gonna work well if one precinct is clicking along one way and the other one just didn't do anything about much. You know, so there's that problem still too. But anyhow, I just know for where we're at, it's been going on for decades, and to think that we're just gonna overnight start doing some stuff. And the arguments are on the way, they don't like the way the tickets wrote, or they want this, or they don't want that, and they, you know, and it's just, it's all of them have different stuff, and we don't know what's what, on some of that stuff, and that's neither here, we're getting out of, I'm chasing a rabbit in a budget meeting, but, anyhow, but for my budget stuff, the increases is that my plan for a vehicle would be to either, if I could find something either from the sheriff's office, or if there was a constable that's getting something new, like I've already done with what I've got currently, something that I don't have to buy something new for, and just kind of, you know, freshen up and keep going with that for a vehicle, so that we're not buying a new vehicle just yet. Worst case scenario, I don't have to have a county vehicle, so I'll put them in mine. With me and the way I operate, I'm primarily in the office. My two deputies now, 90% of the time they're covering off duty or overnight calls, and they call me out if it's, you know, major stuff. So it wouldn't be that big of a pain for me to have to drive out in something on my own. So it's not that big of a headache if I don't have a county vehicle to respond into something, because mine is usually work stuff. So a vehicle isn't necessarily the biggest issue for a third person. So that's really where we're at. Postage is going up. So that's where our increase is on that. A lot of our kickback, we're getting the postage thing too. We're kind of having to revamp some stuff. When we're mailing out certified letters, people aren't going to pick them up. You know, the post office will deliver them, or they deliver the little card that you got to go up to the post office and sign for. Folks don't want to go sign for their mail because they know it's probably something they don't, it's not good news probably if they got to go sign for it. So they just don't sign for it, and then they can say they never received it. So a lot of that stuff we're kind of trying to maybe experiment with is, are we better off not mailing and maybe having to hand deliver, but then is it more expensive now because we're spending time and fuel driving and waiting and hoping they're there or something like that, to, you know, because then if we just leave it, they're still saying, well, you know, I never got it, even though we've left it for them or something. We've got to catch them there to give it to them.
Use your orange sheet. Paper, take it and just tape it to their door.
Well, these are for most of the mailing things, or for, it's not necessarily abatement, it's for the
Inspection.
notices for the annual
Inspection, right.
septics that are they're
Maintenance
handing
agreement,
us out. Yeah. And we are also working on a proposal to kind of update our just our septic ordinance in general. It's kind of been, it's been a while since that thing's been looked at. If we could just maybe present it at some point in the future to the court just for review.
Sure.
To see if it's something that we could consider maybe updating some stuff on it to, you know, clean up some things on there. So that's something we're kind of behind the scenes working on currently as well.
Okay.
How's the little orange warning notices going?
The notices are working as far, I mean, we typically get a response out of that. People kind of get a little shaky. Your normal, I like to live life as a felon, doesn't care, you know, but your normal, you know, I go to work, provide for my family person, you know, doesn't like the idea that. And then, I mean, we actually seem to get better compliance out of people. It feels like when we ask them, like, what's it going to take for you to start showing some progress? And then they give us a timeline. Can you give me 6 months? Can you give me? And then if we let them set the time,
And then we give them something to work for and hold them to it, and then they start reporting back. I mean, they're calling in every week or month or something and saying, hey, I've gotten this much done, and they're emailing pictures of what they picked up and thrown away. And we're getting stuff turned in that way. And it's not fast, you know, but
Progress.
it does, it's progress. And, you know, of course, we're talking about people that's, it's their home, it's their residence, it's the way they've lived for however long, that somebody all of a sudden has a problem with how they've lived for however long. The person that goes and we find that they've just dumped something on the side of the road, that's a criminal. You know, there is no slack for that. That's a criminal charge, and it needs to be charged and dealt with accordingly right then and there. You know, we can find a way to deal with that, you know, but a lot of times that stuff's dumped and they don't write their name in the trash, you know.
So on abatement stuff, what is it that you spend the most amount of time on? Is it trash on the side of the road, or what other things do you, or?
Most of it has been lately just the complaints of neighbors complaining about neighbors, and then us going and finding people, talking to people, and then just building the cases to work against them. That's been the time.
And the complaint is about trash or junk, or what's the complaint that neighbors have?
Just that they're junky, that, you know, it's my neighbor's got trash, or it's junk, or, you know, debris. You know, very rarely is it legitimate, like just garbage. Usually it's just buildup of accumulated
Hoarding.
Junk.
yes, hoarding.
And
They
what
kept, they
about-
didn't throw away the washer that they got replaced, and then they didn't do, you know, a mattress, and it's all the household things that have been replaced over time. And then there's an '87 Buick that's still out there, and then, you know, just all those things.
What is the law regarding abandoned vehicles, or is there something, is it state law or whatever about?
I believe.
Because we don't have, the county doesn't have anything.
Correct, the state, I'm 99.9, but it's, you cannot have any more than 3 unregistered vehicles.
Okay.
Tom just said something one day.
In
he was
view.
here. Y'all were in here together.
Yeah, it's in view. Now, if you have those vehicles and they're concealed, if they're behind the barn, they're out of public view. Because we, you know, it's not a nuisance if we can't see it from public roadway. So, and that's the other thing, is when there's a report of, like, they call in and say, hey, it smells like sewer real bad. And I mean, if we can't drive up there and just see it, now we gotta go get a warrant to go on the property to view it. To try and look and see if there's a sewer problem or something. And if it's leaking into things, if we can't just outright see it, but, you know, we've got one the one in your, I mean, that one, you know, was a whole different deal, because getting into a waterway and you can see stuff, so it led us up into that, and then which now has turned into a case that we've got a septic installer that's installing multiple illegal systems all over the place, so now we're building a case against him on that. And but he don't care, the dude ain't stopping. And so, but we're putting together a case as fast as we can.
They're illegal because why?
He's not
There's not-
permitting his systems. He's just finding guys. It's Hispanic, and you know, they're just putting them in. People are buying property and they're just putting in systems.
Okay, not getting inspected.
Yeah, they're not permitting them through the county,
And that's
not getting them inspected. They're putting them through.
it's $200. What does it cost? $200?
400 for the permit.
For new, and 200 to renew an existing one, or to inspecting it?
No, the annual thing is $30.
Right, okay.
All more reason to bring up building codes again.
And I had so I couldn't get clear answers on we have a program called SAFE, and that's our database for all the septic things. That we have to take that stuff and submit to TCEQ.
Right.
And while John is, as good as John is with our stuff, he's all we got right now for, our expert. For what, better, lack of better words on it. But I couldn't get clear answers on like, well, what about this, what about that on some stuff? So, I've paid, out of our training budget, $700 and the safe, operator, whoever, the guy that owns the program, was supposed to be, is actually today that they were, today's Thursday, yeah, today they were doing the training. He's coming out to, since I have Michelle as a new admin clerk, Ashley's new and getting her DR. So they're all getting trained on safe and all its operations and ins and outs and what it can do. Hopefully it becomes a more efficient system. And they, cause the guy had mentioned to me, citations can be issued out of there and some other management things that can be done through it that we weren't doing before. And, not that it's failure on John's part, it may just been him not knowing his full capabilities. So hopefully that improves a lot and we get a little bit more streamlined with that as well.
So basically all your expenses are you just carrying forward the same as last year, except for those that would be affected by the new hire, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and then the bus is in vehicle maintenance, so. Okay. Questions? All right. Well, we're gonna take into consideration all of the new positions in relation to what we have already spent.
Sure.
And to see what we can do.
This is something that just recently come up. And I don't know, I know our building situation out there is kind of in a limbo temporary thing. We've got a guy we're keeping an eye on. This came up at Memorial Day fireworks sales that he's hopping around illegally selling fireworks out of a cargo trailer and some tables. So this 4th of July, we're gonna set up a little
Sting
deal and try and catch him and seize his fireworks. I've talked to the judge and he's got a Connex behind his, not the judge, sheriff. He's got a Connex behind his building back there that he says we could probably store them in until we can get an order to either destroy or whether we're told to give them back, whichever way that goes, if we do end up seizing. But in the future, I don't want to put them in that refrigerator building we got because of the vehicle registration.
Right.
Got their paperwork in there
right.
too, and if I don't know, I'd hate for something to blow up, go back, yeah, I'd hate for some, I'd rather than things be, so I don't know, in the future or other building, we might consider maybe some kind of
evidence storage.
Just an outbuilding of some kind that if we do end up seizing something like that in the future that we could, it just need to be a small shed of some kind probably that we can keep something isolated like that for seizures and everything. And then we can do, a place to store it and then be able to, because we'll have to destroy it if we do get an order to destroy.
Well, we do. The county does have 2 small sheds over here.
Okay.
So I'll get with Chris Burnett, our public building supervisor.
Okay.
And figure it out. Okay. One of them was used by the master gardeners and they have since disbanded, so that should be available to us. It's empty. And then the other one we're using, county's using for storage. Okay. So it's available.
I think I've got it covered for this little deal here with the.
We could threaten to put them all over at the DA's office.
Yeah, just I'll spread them out on her conference table.
Yeah. We're just gonna set these in here for right now. We'll come back.
I'll come back. I'll be back. Yeah.
So. All right, anything else?
I think that's it. I appreciate your time and consideration.
You bet.
Thank y'all.
Worked out good. And did Chris get with you about
When the tent stuff?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I
Okay.
believe John helped him get the bus to.
Okay, I just want to make sure we were still good with changing it out.
Yes.
Cause I told Chris, I said, it's a safety hazard now.
Yes, cause I had, every time I drive, I have to open it under the see the mirror.
Yeah.
Cause it's so dark.
Yeah, okay. So we'll get it taken care of. And then are you working on the reflectors?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, tracing it down.
Okay,
Or, I'm thinking there's some that are, regular bus or, 18-wheeler style, but then the bigger ones are more similar to what would be on our fire trucks. So I'm talking to a guy that we get stuff on.
Okay.
Those stuff. So,
all right. Very good. Thank you much.
thank you, sir.
Take care.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Take care.
All right. I have nothing else. Does anyone else have anything else? Bobby, you have any questions? I remember now back when Judge Kirkpatrick was up here. And before we finished our budget meetings, he'd always say, well, Andy, do you have any questions? And I had this whole page full of questions. And I would say, yes, well, matter of fact, I do. And I just,
There is one thing that, and we were talking about it earlier on this,
mhm.
Was there something said about if we went contract labor that? I mean, I know you can do contract labor different.
Contract, it's not gonna provide Vicky with what she wants.
Yeah, but if you took that amount, would she still have to pay her own stuff? I guess that would probably.
Right, she's wanting the withholding is what
If
she,
you took what we paid her, including those withholdings, and divided that by a contract monthly, would that not work?
well. We need to try to keep it consistent with what we're already doing. That's what we need to do, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So. Anyway, all right. I'm going to shut down the audio and the video, stop the sharing, and our meeting is adjourned.
Got one more to do.
One more tomorrow.
Then the hard part begins.
Yeah, oh, and y'all know that we have on Wednesday next week, the subdivision public hearing.
I'll be in a hurricane.
Yeah, I know. You won't be here, so.
Mr. Senior Commissioner, you're not gonna be here?
No, I'm going to that conference and it's like, no, I'll go to Padre. Sounds like a good spot. Yeah, hurricane.
Get away, get out.